Is it even possible to eat too much fruit? After all, it's natural, right? But how does the sugar in fruit compare to processed sugar? And what about the people that only eat fruit, or mostly eat fruit? Is that healthy? In this video, we're gonna explore the benefits of fruit, debunk some of those myths, and we're gonna dive into whether it's possible to overdo it. Let's get started. First, let's talk about why fruit is such a nutritional powerhouse. Fruits are loaded with fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants that support your health in so many ways. The fiber in fruit is so important. It slows down sugar absorption in the body. This prevents the energy crashes that you might get from processed sugars. Plus, fiber keeps you feeling fuller for longer, which makes fruit a really great snack. And don't forget about these amazing key nutrients. For example, strawberries are packed with vitamin C and antioxidants. Bananas are super high in potassium, which is great for your muscles and for your nerves. Mangoes are loaded with beta carotene. That's what produces vitamin A in your body, and it's great for your vision. Vitamin A is also amazing for your skin health. There's so many interesting facts about fruits. For example, did you ever wonder why apples float in water? It's because apples are actually 25% air. Now let's clear up some confusion, because not all sugars are created equally. Processed sugars are what you're gonna find in sodas or candies or soft drinks. Processed sugar is absorbed very quickly by your body, which gives you a super high energy spike and then an energy crash. Processed sugar, like what you'd find in candy or soda, is actually completely void of fiber and nutrients, which means it's absorbed really quickly by your body, but it can also lead to energy crashes. Processed sugar is absorbed quickly by your body because it doesn't contain fiber or any other nutrients. Fruit sugar, on the other hand, comes with fiber, water, and a ton of nutrients. This slows down sugar absorption into your blood. This actually helps your body use the sugar more efficiently and avoid these crashes. Think of fruit as sugar in its most natural and balanced form. Here's where things get interesting. Fructose and glucose are processed differently by your body. While glucose affects blood sugar levels and stimulates insulin in your body, fructose is primarily metabolized by your liver. This might sound harmless, but over time, consuming large amounts of fructose can have some negative impacts on your liver, especially if it's not paired with all the fiber that keeps that absorption at a slower rate. Consuming large amounts of fructose, especially things like high fructose corn syrup found in candy and sugary sodas, can actually lead to fatty liver disease. This is often seen in people following the standard American diet, which is very high in junk foods that don't have a lot of nutrition but have a lot of sugar. Now, I'm not saying any of this to get you to swear off fruit. Please don't do that. It's important to note that fructose from whole fruits behaves very differently than fructose in something like high fructose corn syrup because of the added water and the added fiber that's in whole fruits. Something like soda or candy lacks the fiber, water, and nutrients, and these three things help slow down the absorption of fructose in your body and protects your liver. So have you ever heard of fruitarians or fruitarians? These are people whose diets consist mostly or entirely of fruit. Now, I've been vegan for 9 years, and in this process, I've tried a bunch of different ways of being vegan. I have tried eating only fruit, and I didn't even last a week. I've met people all across the plant-based spectrum. I've met people who are raw vegan, so they only consume raw foods, and I've met people who take it a step further and only consume raw fruits. The people who do this typically want to consume food in as close to its natural form as possible. Fruitarianism takes this whole plant-based thing to the next level. I'm not here to tell you to try this lifestyle. Like I said, I couldn't even last a week doing it. I didn't feel amazing, and it definitely comes with some drawbacks. However, as a short-term cleanse, it can be a great way to clear out your body, clear out and flush your system, and lose a lot of weight pretty quickly. But definitely consult a doctor before you go only fruit, because I doubt that this can be healthy for most people for a long period of time. A fruitarian diet is totally challenging. You struggle to get a lot of nutrients, especially protein, which is easy to get on a plant-based diet, on a vegan diet, but not so easy if you're only eating fruit. This means that fruitarians or fruitarians have to be very, very careful when it comes to their nutritional intake. So before we dive into whether it's possible to eat too much fruit, let's see if people are even eating enough fruit to begin with. When we consider how much fruit people are actually consuming, it's actually kind of scary. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, only about 12% of Americans meet the required daily intake of fruit. Most people, 1 in 10 people, are not even eating enough fruit to begin with. So the question probably for most people isn't, can you eat too much fruit, but are you eating enough fruit? And for most people, the answer is no. For most people, you need to eat about 1.5 cups to 2.5 cups of fruit every single day. And most people are not hitting those numbers. The US Department of Agriculture, or the USDA, has shown that there has been an increase of fresh fruit intake in the past several years, but unfortunately, most people are still falling short. In 2020, the US Department of Agriculture showed that per capita fruit consumption was about 116 pounds per year. And that equals out to about 0.36 pounds per day, or 5.8 ounces of fruit every single day. This is below the recommendations to about 2 cups of fruit a day, and we need to step it up. We should be eating more fruit, unless you're only eating fruit, and then maybe you should eat more other foods. More concerningly, according to the CDC, only 9.3% of Americans are eating enough vegetables per day. That means that more than 1 in 10 people are deficient in vegetable intake, and that can lead to a ton of health concerns. And if you want to learn more about how to eat vegetables and how to make them taste good, you can join my free community, The Plant-Powered Path. The CDC says Americans should be consuming 2.5 cups to 3.5 cups of vegetable per day on average, and we know most people are not hitting those numbers, so let's step it up. Given these statistics, it's pretty clear that underconsumption of fruit is much more concerning than overconsumption. While glucose stimulates the hormone leptin, which makes you feel more full, fructose can actually have the opposite effect and make you feel less full. That's why diets that are really high in processed sugars that contain fructose, things like sodas and candies, can actually make you feel less full and lead to overeating. It makes sense, right? If you don't feel full, you're more likely to keep eating. But does this mean that you should cut out fruit? Absolutely not. Fruits contain fiber, water, and nutrients, which makes fruits a completely different story to high fructose corn syrup. Unlike candy or soda, which contain highly processed sugars, whole fruit releases sugar slowly thanks to its high fiber content. And here's the extra good news. Studies show that fruit consumption leads to lower rates of diseases like heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. Fruit consumption can also lower your risk of having a stroke. And fruit consumption leads to better psychological health, according to many studies. So unless you're going totally crazy eating something like 10 bananas a day, you're probably not overeating fruit. When it comes to sugar, fruit wins every single time. Processed sugars like what you find in candy or soda or even desserts, these are empty calories. They provide sugar, but they don't provide vitamins, essential nutrients, or any fiber. While these processed sugars may give you energy, they're not fueling your body in other ways. Fruit sugar, on the other hand, is like nature's perfect snack. You're not just getting sweetness, you're getting hydration, which is super important. You're getting fiber and you're getting nutrients that support your overall health. Fruits are so helpful for hydration, it's actually crazy. I mean, watermelon, for example, is more than 90% water. So it's a great way to hydrate, especially for people who don't really like drinking water. You can just eat more fruit and you'll probably get there. Now, I know there's a reason why most of us struggle to eat enough fruit. It's not that convenient, it's not that fun, and there's so many other foods that are way more satisfying. However, I promise if you start switching out some of that highly processed sugary food for fresh whole fruits, you're going to start to feel a lot better. If you're not sure how to include more fruit into your diet, I got you. Here's some ideas. I love putting fresh fruit into my oatmeal in the mornings. Chop up some apples, wash some berries and throw them in. Make sure that you're getting that fresh fruit along with your breakfast to start off the day with sustained energy. You can also use mangoes really creatively in things like tacos or salsa to add a bit of flavor and make sure you're getting more fruit. You can also make something called banana nice cream. It's like ice cream, but it's nice. There's no dairy, there's no cruelty involved. You take Bananas, you freeze them for a few hours, and then you blend up those bananas with whatever flavorings you want to add. Blended frozen bananas with some vanilla protein powder or chocolate syrup can be a delicious treat. Fruits are super versatile and can be used in both sweet and savory dishes. Definitely get creative with it. Don't forget to enjoy the variety and enjoy the uniqueness of fruits. It's so funny how different fruits are so unique. Did you know that apples, cherries, and peaches all belong to the rose family? Next time you smell a bouquet of roses, just remember you're smelling a distant fruit relative. Did you know that the most expensive fruit in the world is the Japanese Yubari King melon? This single fruit can sell for over $20,000 at auction. So if you ever wonder if people actually like fruit, they like it enough to spend $20,000 on it. That's crazy. I like to think that fruits are as interesting as they are delicious, so let me know which of these fruit facts that you found most interesting in the comments. I will say that it is worth noting that most of your carbohydrates should actually come from vegetables and not fruit. We should all be eating more vegetables per day than we're eating fruits, especially if you're managing a condition like diabetes. While fructose in fruit is usually okay for most people and certainly much healthier than processed fructose like high fructose corn syrup, it is always good to consult your doctor before you make any dietary changes. It's important to determine what's safe for you, but remember, most people are under-consuming these fresh fruits and vegetables, so adding more to your diet most likely is not going to be harmful. At the end of the day, sugar is sugar, but fruit is more than just its sugar content. Don't forget that fruit is a package deal. It's loaded with water, fiber, nutrients, and vitamins, and is incredibly healthy. Fruit can support your health in a variety of ways, so make sure you're including it every day as part of your balanced diet. So can you eat too much fruit? I mean, technically yes, but for most people, your problem is probably that you're eating too little fruit, and incorporating more fruit into your lifestyle can be a game changer for your health and for your energy levels. If you want to learn more about how to incorporate fresh plants into your food, into your diet and lifestyle, I got you covered. You can join me in my free community on School, The Plant Powered Path, where we're going through all of the tips and tricks you need to have a successful transition to eating more plant-based. Just remember, everything is about balance. Work on pairing your fruits with other nutrient-dense foods like healthy fats and proteins so you can make sure you have that well-rounded diet. If you found this video helpful, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Get in the comments section and let me know what your favorite fruit is. And don't forget to subscribe. I can't wait to see you next time.